Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're feeling okay. It is Wednesday, March the 17th. And so if it's Wednesday, that obviously means it's Wobble Wednesday. And on Wobble Wednesday, we work on balance. Hello and welcome to Get Moving. My name is Karen. How are you doing? And of course, Get Moving is here to help people with mobility issues to get some good exercise. So people with mobility issues, we can categorize them as something like people with disabilities, say. Long-term chronic medical conditions, injuries, people in rehab, any reason like that. If, for whatever reason, you are slightly less mobile than you should be, or you want to be, Get Moving can help you with good exercise, getting you stronger, getting you fitter, moving better, improving your confidence in so many different ways. We're pretty good at it. You know, we've had plenty of practice over this past year now, goodness me. And to be honest, we've been doing it way before that as well. But, you know, with this kind of stuff, we've been practicing for a fair bit. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll be here at 11 o'clock. And it's suitable, these exercises are suitable for pretty much everybody. Whether you are seated, whether you are standing, something in between, you can do these exercises or variations of these exercises. Now, having said that, today, as I say, is Wobble Wednesday. And on every Wobble Wednesday, we practice balance. And so just for today, just for Wednesday, I'm going to be concentrating a little bit more on people who are standing and who can or who want to improve their balance. So if you're seated, don't worry, we've still got exercises for you, got alternatives for you. You are going to need your ball, so go grab it now if you're seated. So if you're seated, we've got alternatives for you, incorporating the ball. But just for today, just for Wobble Wednesdays, I am going to be concentrating a little bit more on people who are standing, people who want to improve their balance. So if you're seated, you've got 30 seconds now while I which away. You go grab a ball. You're going to need it. Go grab it now if you're seated. Those of you standing, I say this a lot, I'll say it again now. When it comes to balancing and stuff, we want to be successful, we want to be safe, we want to be secure, we don't want to hurt ourselves, but we want to push our limitations. We want to work towards the edge of what we can do. Stay safe. Obviously, falling over does not improve our balance in any way, shape, or form, but it's called Wobble Wednesday for a reason. Because we do want to wobble and sway and move. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to improving their balance is thinking that it's something to do with staying still. For example, just being able to stand on one leg, say, and stay still. It's not that at all. That's not balance. Balance is about moving and regaining our center of gravity. I say it a lot. I'm going to bore you to death by saying it a lot today. But that's what it's all about. We're going to get you moving, okay? So let's start off with then. People who are seated, I'm going to come back to you in a sec with the ball. Make sure you've got it. If you're standing, though, the exercise we're going to do today is the one that we went over yesterday. So you're going to need a bit of solid wall, okay? It is about counterbalancing. So it's the side counterbalance exercise. Standing close to a wall make it easier. Standing further away will make it harder. We're going to have our hands hovering close to, but not touching unless we need it, hovering close to that wall. If we feel like we're going to go over, feel if our balance is going, by all means, hold on. But try not to. We're going to try and just hover our fingers off that wall. This is my left side, I think, isn't it? So we're going to have our left hand hovering close to the wall, leaning towards the wall, and at the same time counterbalancing by sticking our leg or our arm or both out the other way. So I'm tipping over onto one side there, hand just hovering on the wall there, counterbalancing with this leg and arm, and then recovering. And then repeating. Leaning one way, counterbalancing the other way. My hand is here just in case if anything goes wrong. I just hold onto the wall and I'm okay. I'm secure. All right? That's our safety net. We make sure we're safe. But then we're going to nudge ourselves. Lean one way, counterbalance the other way. I will say when, but then you're also obviously going to do the same thing on the other side, and we just do the same thing by turning around. Hand hovering close to the wall, leaning towards the wall, other arm and leg sticking out, counterbalancing, and we balance there. And we'll make sure we do both sides. That's the exercise we're going to be doing if we're standing. So make sure you've got a bit of wall handy, okay? If, though, you're seated, and you're not going to do that, we've got 2 exercises for you, both including the ball. First one, ball in between your knees, in between your thighs there, and all you're going to do is crush the ball, squeeze it tight, relax. Squeeze it tight, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then relax. So the ball squeeze, okay? We're using the insides of our legs there. Dead simple. That's the first exercise. Squeeze, hold, relax. The second exercise is going to be our ball crunch. I'm going to show you from the side, I think. Sat down, ball on our knees like so, forearms on top of the ball like so, and we're just going to crunch forwards, curl into it, and again try and squeeze the ball, crush the ball in between my forearms and my knees, and we hold there for a second or two, and then relax. And then repeat. We crunch forwards, squeeze the ball between our forearms and knees, hold, relax. So we squeeze, hold, relax. Squeeze, hold, relax. And you should feel your stomach muscles doing some work there. If you don't, let us know in the comments below. You know the drill. But they're the 2 exercises we're going to be doing. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'll explain when. Squeezing and crunching. Okay? So if you're seated, make sure that ball is handy. If you're standing, make sure that wall is handy. Okay? So, having done all that prelude, let's actually do some proper work, shall we? I have my timer here. It is set for 20 seconds. Our first exercise is for everybody, seated or standing, marching on the spot. Get your legs up and down like so, just marching away. We're going to do that for 20 seconds. If you're standing, marching on the spot like so for 20 seconds. Get yourselves ready. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Marching on the spot. Now, if we're standing or working on balance, remember, I'm swaying to one side and I'm shifting my weight to the other side. I'm shifting my weight from one foot to the other. You go as fast or as slow as you want, but you practice that switching of the weight from one leg to the other. You shift it around. Time, time, time. So let's do this first one then. So I'm going to use my right side. I'm going to lean to my right side. And if I'm seated, I am going to squeeze the ball in between my knees, okay? This is our first bit of exercise, okay? So if we're seated, squeeze between our knees. If we're standing, we're going to lean towards the right-hand side. Now we're going to balance there for 20 seconds. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'm leaning towards the right, sticking my other leg and arm out the other side. I'm counterbalancing. My right hand here is close to the wall. So if anything goes wrong, I can steady myself. But I am balancing, I'm leaning and counterbalancing. And that is 20 seconds. It is simple as that, okay? Now we're going to do those exercises all through the morning, so get ready, get used to them, okay? Our next exercise though, for everybody, seated or standing, the shoulder rolls, okay? In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Rolling our shoulders back like so. Of course, if we can, we roll our arms back like so. As a general rule of thumb, the bigger the move, the better. Okay, so you do the biggest, baddest move that you can do, and that is going to be good. Because again, we're going to be challenging ourselves, we're going to be working hard. We're not going to just go, this is what I've got. We're going to try and do better if we can. Time, time, time. So, if we're seated, ball crunch time. Ball on the knees, forearms on the top, and you're going to crunch forwards, hold, relax. Crunch, hold, relax, okay? That's if you're seated. If we're standing, I'm going to lean to my left-hand side. Get yourself ready. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Leaning towards the left, my other leg, other arm, counterbalancing. So if you're seen from the front, I'm not just sort of leaning a little bit, I'm leaning as far as I can. and counterbalancing with the other side. A lot of weight that way and a lot of weight that way, and they both cancel each other out. And time. That is all about counterbalance. So important when it comes to staying on our feet. And next exercise, knee bends. Okay, let's moving on. If we're seated, kicking our feet out like so, bending and straightening the knees. Big movements if you can. If we're standing, kicking our heels back towards our bum. Again, we're shifting that weight from side to side. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Kicking the feet back. See how my body weight is shifting from one leg to the other? That is how I make sure I don't fall over. If I try and stand still and lift a leg up, I'm going to fall. That's why balance is about movement. We move from one foot to the other. Cannot stress this enough. So many people get it wrong. We've got to move. Time. Okay, so if we're seated, grab your ball. Start crushing your balls between your knees. Such a child, that makes me giggle all the time. Puts a smile on my face. If we're standing though, leaning to the right side with a lean, okay? In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Hand hovering, leaning, other arm and leg, counterbalancing out to the side. If I shift a lot of weight one way, I've got to shift some other weight the other way. And then they just cancel each other out, and I'm staying nice and balanced. Now I can stay there, or I can sort of move up and down. It depends how you feel. But that's our time, and we're moving on to twists now. Twistus eras. Everybody twisting one way and the other. In 3, 2, 1, away we go. Twisting and twisting. Again, as always, the bigger the move, the better. We start with small moves if we need to. So don't compare yourself to me or to other people. I always say this. Do the best that you can. If you have to start with a small move, start with a small move. But we're working towards a bigger move. Time. If we're seated, crunching now, leaning forwards, and then we're going to crunch, hold, relax. Crunch, hold, relax. Very useful things are all. If we're standing, leaning to the left-hand side. Left-hand side. In 3, 2, 1. Tilting sideways. One leg, one arm out to the side. Counterbalance. We can either stay there, or we can sort of pulse, recover, go again, recover. I'm going to let you decide exactly which version you do. Try them both. Find out which one works for you. But again, we're after a big move. Time. Double tap if we're seated. Sitting tall, no slouching. Sitting tall. One knee comes up twice. 1, 2, and then the other side. 1, 2, swapping sides. 1, 2. If we're standing, again, balance time. That movement I was talking about, shifting the weight onto one leg, and then the knee comes up. 1, 2, and then we shift to the other side. 1, 2, and so on. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Easier moves are smaller ones down here, but you work towards making a bigger move if you can. The bigger the move, the harder, but that's the whole point of this game, to make things as difficult as we can here, so that it is easier out there in the real world. Time. Okay, what's next? The right-hand side and squeezing. If we're seated, squeeze the thighs together. If we're standing, I'm going to lean to my left. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'm tilting sideways, counterbalancing, and then recovering if you want, or just staying out there and moving, wobbling as much as you want, but you're adjusting that counterbalance. If you start going too far one way, stick the other arm out. Whoa, there we go. That's what we're after. Nearly lost it, but I struggled and I was able to regain it. That is the whole point of it. Well done. What's next? Side bends. Bendianas. Again, seated, standing, makes no difference. One arm goes down. If you can, the other arm comes up over the top and going side to side to side. A back movement. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. Reaching over one way and reaching over the other way. We're moving the spine. Don't get a stiff, sore back. Things like this, things like the twisty Sarahs, they are going to help mobilize the back and, well, minimize the amount of stiffness we get there. And time. If we're seated, squeezing, crunching and relaxing, crunching and relaxing. If we're standing, I'm leaning to my left, in 3, in 2, in 1, and off we go. So again, I am moving, I'm counterbalancing, and I can recover and carry on going. If I feel as if I'm falling one way, I stick the weight the opposite way. If I feel like I'm going too far that way, then I will move the weight the other way. I'm just going to counterbalance throughout. Time. And, oh, leg strength time now. Everybody, time to stand. I don't mind how many or how few you do, but we are all going to try standing now. Tuck your feet underneath your butt. Tilt your body weight forward. You want to feel heavy feet, okay? Push down heavy feet. And we're going to stand up nice and tall and straight. If you can, you're going to sit back down and repeat as often as you can. It might be once, it might be twice, it might be 50. I don't know. You just do what you can. And if you can do it without a chair, you're going to squat and do the same thing as many times as you can. In 3, in 2, in 1, off we go. So leg strength is vital for balancing. We need to have a certain amount of power of just sheer muscle to be able to shift our body weight around and keep our balance. Because, like I said, movement is balance. If we don't have the strength to move, we won't have the strength to balance. Squats, sit stands, very good way, one of the best ways to strengthen our legs. What's next? Okay, if we're seated, squeezing that ball. If we're standing, I'm going to lean to my right-hand side, I think. Is it? Yes, to my right-hand side. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Leaning, counterbalancing, and recovering, or just staying out there. Again, wobbling your arms, wobbling your body. Make it move as much as you want, but you're going to hold it there. Keep regaining that point of balance. And simple as that. There we go. Tightrope walking. We're there already. Flying through it. So, if you're seated, I'm not going to ask you to tightrope walk, don't worry. I am going to ask you, though, to move your ankles. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So the heel touches the floor, and then point your foot and get a toe. And then heel, toe, heel, toe. Now again, it might be a small move. If we can, we're going to make it the biggest move we can, though. Right and left leg, both sides. If we're standing, tightrope walking, you all, by now, definitely have that painted line on the floor in your room. That's our imaginary tightrope. Feet wide is easier. Feet narrow is harder. With me, though, off we go. Walking, tightrope walking, heel toe along that imaginary tightrope on the floor. We are deliberately going to make balance difficult for ourselves here. But that is going to challenge us. It's going to force the body to get a little bit better and improve balance in the long run. Now, when we've gone all the way forwards, we're going to go backwards now. This time, of course, toes, heels, toes, heels. But still on that imaginary tightrope, still on that line on the floor. Again, still deliberately making my balance difficult to hold, but that forces me to get better at it. And the second time is always better than the first, so going forwards, off we go again. Doing the easy thing doesn't make us any better. Doing challenging, difficult, safe, obviously, don't be injured or anything, but challenging things, that's the thing that makes us better. And last time now, just for the fun of it, going backwards, toes, heels, toes, heels. Nobody improved by taking the easy route. Everyone who's improved has done so by challenging themselves, by taking the less than easy route. There we go, run out of space, boom. Okay, cool. So if we're seated, crunch time. Crunch, hold, recover. Crunch, hold, recover. Okay, that's if you're seated. If we're standing, where is it? To my left. Leaning sideways to my left. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Lean to my left. Sticking my right arm and leg out there to counterbalance. I can move things, I can wobble. That's why we call it Wobble Wednesday. Wobbling is good. We are not going to be like a statue. That doesn't help anyone. But we're going to move around this arm, hovering an inch off the wall. If anything goes wrong, I'm safe and secure. Okay? Time. Fast feet time. Time to change my timer. So we need a certain amount of strength to move our weight around so we can balance properly. We also need a certain amount of speed, because no matter how strong or well balanced we are, if we can't move it quick enough, we're going to topple. Fast feet, if we're seated, running on the spot. It's a small move, but it's a fast move. We're going to practice speed, okay? That's if you're seated. If we're standing, running on the spot. Again, it's all to do with speed. It doesn't matter if you're faster or slower than me. I don't mind. As long as it's the best that you can do, and by best I mean fastest that you can do, and that's a good one. 10 seconds worth. We're going to do 2 rounds of 10 seconds. Fast feet in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So I move my feet as fast as I can. Hopefully you are going faster. And time. Give your legs a bit of a waggle, a bit of a shake. So yeah, quick feet is going to be vital for balance. If we feel ourselves toppling, we need to move our feet quickly to be able to catch ourselves and stop us from toppling. This is where we practice. Round 2, exactly the same thing again, except obviously a bit better. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. And again, fast feet, not big, small movements, but quick. And there we go. Well done. Okay, we're nearly there. So if we're seated, what have we got? Squeeze in. If we're seated, we're going to squeeze the ball together. Relax. Squeeze it and relax. Let me change my timer. There we go. So that's if we're seated. If we're standing, right-hand side it says here, lean to my right. In 3, in 2, in 1. Off we go. Leaning to the right. Hand close to, hovering against the wall. If anything goes wrong, we can hold ourselves. But we're going to try and counterbalance ourselves, though. Moving, adjusting as we see fit. And time. And then the last main exercise, shadow boxing. So it's the same thing whether you're seated or standing. It's a bit more standing, but same thing otherwise. Shadow boxing, fists up, punching high, punching low, punching round, hooking up, punching down. The whole point of this is just to get out of breath. So to be honest, I'm not that fussed where you're punching and stuff like that. As long as you get out of breath, as long as your heart is pumping hard. That is the key bit, okay? The rest, just details. If we're standing, if we can, we'll move our feet as well. We'll move back and forth, but we're shadow boxing. 3 rounds of 20 seconds each, nice and quick, okay? In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Shadow boxing away nicely. So definitely arms are moving. We can punch head height. We can punch body height. We can mix and match some head, some body. Moving around. If we can, we'll move our legs too. And time. That was a quick 20 seconds. So we're going straight into round 2. Straight away in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Punching away. So even if we're seated, it doesn't matter. We can still get stuck in. We can still get some good, solid cardio and get our breathing up, get our heart rate pumping. Doesn't matter. We think we can't. We're wrong. We can. Time. Last round, 3rd round. Get my cable out the way before I trip over it. And straight away in 3, 2, 1. Punch. Nice, quick, fast moves. Punching away. Breathing. Heart rate. All them up. Working hard, basically. Getting out of breath. Staying out of breath. And time. And guess what? Just enough time for the last bit now. If you're seated, ball crunch. Forearms on top. Crunch, hold, relax. Crunch, hold, relax. The last time you're going to do it, give it your best shot. If we're standing, I'm leaning to my left side. In 3, in 2, in 1. Off we go. Last time now. So again, hand hovering so we're safe. Falling over is against the rules. That's not allowed. So just, there we go. Catching ourselves. If we need, we can hold on to the wall. But we're going to do everything we can to not fall over. Because if you think about it, if you think about it, that's all that balance is. Balance is not falling over. It's doing whatever it takes to not fall over. If we can do it independent, if we can do it not involving other things, walls, sticks, stuff like that, that makes us better, fantastic. But ultimately, balance is all about not falling over. So that is the golden rule. Okay, that is Wobble Wednesday. Just in time as well. Wobble Wednesday, done. We do this every Wednesday. Back again tomorrow, Thinking Thursday, brain thinking time. So if you want to get the most out of the exercise that you do, if you want to be as efficient as you possibly can, join us again tomorrow, 11 o'clock for Thinking Thursday. In the meantime, as always, down there somewhere there's share buttons. Please share this video out and about. The more people can do it, the better for them, and I'll be honest with you, better for me as well. So please share away and just annoy people with my wonderful face and video, okay? Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow though. Bye-bye.